Welcome to Megabucks Radio. Conversations with successful entrepreneurs, sharing their tips and strategies for success. Real world ideas that can put megabucks in your bank account. Here's your host, Nina Hirschberger.
Well, hello there and welcome to today's show. I am honored to have Donna Krech on the phone with me. Donna and I worked together for many years. I think we were introduced together, Donna, maybe 7-8 years ago, something like that. And I'm telling you, you guys are in for a treat. Donna is known as a disruptor. She's been in the wellness and weight loss business for well over 30 years. She is a remarkable woman. She has the cutest little grandchildren. I think, Donna, they must have just turned, did they just turn 2?
They're right at it. August 11th, they'll be 2.
August 11th. I knew it's coming up. I couldn't remember exactly the time. But, now we're recording this. Today is July the 1st, 2020. And, we all know what 2020 year was like and how everything kind of turned upside down. But Donna has had multi-businesses, and she has pivoted during this period of time. And so she agreed to come on to the show today and just talk about what small business owners can do, what people can do. And so welcome to today's show, Donna.
Thanks, Nina. I'm thrilled to be here. It's fun to get to talk and let other people eavesdrop because our conversations are always amazing. So, I love it.
Isn't that the truth? So tell me, what have you guys done during this period of time? What lessons can people listening to this radio program learn from you?
Let's start with the lessons. And I really think there are probably 3. So we'll say 3 key lessons. First lesson, and this is really important, Nina, people, period, but especially entrepreneurs, business people, had stress long before this pandemic hit. A lot of stress. Sometimes you can feel very alone and lonely. Sometimes you can not know what to do. Many times you're going through financial difficulty that not only does someone else not understand, but you're not even really comfortable talking to somebody else. Many times even our spouse isn't somebody that all the way gets us. There are employee issues. There are marketing issues. There are business trend issues. There are the issues of putting in countless hours. I mean, the bottom line is long before the COVID crisis hit, which is at the time of our recording, we all had stress. And then the COVID crisis hit. And boy, did we have stress. But the thing is, once this is passed, we'll still have stress. So the first lesson I'm gonna share with all of our leaders listening today is you as a leader, as a business person, as an entrepreneur, have to understand whether you want to acknowledge it or not, stress is a part of your daily life, and you have to understand how to deal with that stress. It's real. I'm going to tell you how to acknowledge it and what to do about it. But you have to acknowledge that it's there because the energy around you is there, whether you acknowledge it or not. What's going on in your subconscious mind is there, whether you acknowledge it or not. And surprisingly, Nina, I'm not going to talk a lot about mindset. I'm going to talk about tactical things that can be done. So lesson number 1, if you are choosing to be an entrepreneur or business leader, it's got so many blessings. It's so wonderful. I would never do anything else. And it always has stress that we have to acknowledge. Lesson number 2, there is always something you can do about it. There's always a solution for whatever issue, challenge, situation you're finding yourself in as a business leader and entrepreneur. There's always a solution. You have to, again, be aware of your own thoughts, be aware of what's going on with you. You have to have safe zones, places where you can talk about it but not necessarily commiserate, so that you can find your way into the solutions. Because listen, I did some research, and I did some research a few years ago. But I've really done more research since all this hit. I went digging, Nina, into the businesses that thrived during the Depression. I went all the way back. And I can tell you that as long as you can pivot and know what to do, even in that kind of an extreme situation, you're going to find a solution. And not only will you make it and survive, you'll thrive. So number one, you had stress coming in. You've got stress. You're going to have stress going out. And you need to know how to deal with that and how to take care of you so you can lead the business and achieve the purpose that you were created for. Number two, there's always a solution, but you have to be aware. You've got to have safe zones, and you've got to know how to find the solution. And lastly, you really have to understand life's short, and you don't want to miss it. You have to have the platform for yourself, for your business, so you can fulfill the purpose I'm talking about, but you have to have the platform for your life so that you don't miss it. Because as business people, we can tend to risk missing it anyway, the stuff in life that matters. But again, during a situation where all hands are on deck and everybody is in, fix-it mode, win mode, we're all coming together. My team and I have certainly done this during this time. You don't want to miss life. So you have to have the platform of your life as well.
Wow, that's amazing. I'm just thinking of all sorts of questions I could be asking. But let's start with, I'm fascinated about the depression and what you learned. Give me some more specifics. What did you learn? Who thrived? How did they thrive? Tell me more about that.
Okay, so obviously, let's just get the first one out of the way quick because this is the one that's obvious. The necessities thrived. So if in any way, shape, or form you can move yourself into a necessity realm, right now, you need to do that, or just let the necessity part of the business that you already serve rise up, right? So necessities, soap, diapers, food, shelter, right? Necessities. But here's the thing, paying attention to the era in which you live is also something that thrived. Now, back then is different than today as far as paying attention to what's going on in the world, because today technology is going on. Back then, technology was not going on. However, communication was. Communication was then and communication is now. Today, it may be telecommunication, or again, maybe specifically overarchingly technology, but really paying attention to what are people's needs, and then what are the trends in the world that have become, if you will, a need. But the thing that selfishly, I'll be honest, that really blessed me, didn't shock me, blessed me, is that even during the Depression, people wanted to feel good, and they paid attention to how they felt. They paid attention to feeling good. So if in any capacity, your business, which mine does, helps people to feel well, and they can do it naturally. People are very aware in our day and age, which they weren't then, of a natural approach being a healthier approach. A natural approach will go to the cause, not just the symptom. Example that we always use is, Tylenol doesn't get rid of what's creating the headache. Tylenol masks the pain connectors that are telling you have a headache. So a natural approach goes to fixing why you have a headache. So health, people feeling good, people will pay attention to that. The other two things that entrepreneurs are going to love to hear, Nina, is that innovation won. If you were innovative, if you were creative, if you kept your marketing message out there. Two of the biggest examples that people will remember from history are Kellogg's and Post, right? One decided, Kellogg's, to keep marketing. One decided not to because it was the Depression and they cut back, right? Well, Kellogg's won. At the end of the day, they won because they kept themselves out there. And we live in a day and age of social media. Keeping yourself out there is not tough. But what I've taught my licensees is keeping yourself out there means fire hose. Be out there. Be loud. Be everywhere. Give education. Give entertainment. Give hope. Give your marketing message. Make your offer. So innovation and creativity won. And the thing is, there are people, not as many today as there were then, but there are people who want to work. So you're going to be able, if you offer the right opportunity, to have people just carrying your message and taking your product and your service to the next level. So if you've got something in the realm of necessity, or again, what is common in the world today, or health, you've got a good win. And even if you don't have those things, but if you have those things plus innovation, creativity, and marketing, you've got a good win. And if you put that together with, there will be people who want to work, you've got a good win. I mean, this is hope. This is not devastation, but this, you have to, again, be aware, going back to the stress, you have to be aware that you may not always have these thoughts of, okay, let's win, here's a solution, because we've all gone back and forth with being worried, with being confused, dealing with some anger, dealing with some anxiety, some depression, some overwhelm, some sense of our joy being stolen. And I have to tell you that it is very important to have those conversations with people, especially if you're going to get into the innovative headspace, right? You've got to realize it's headspace.
Well, it's interesting you say that. I say right now, more importantly than ever, it's really important to be in a mastermind with people in the right headspace. So, I always say if all I have to do is sit in my own office and think my own thoughts, I'll never be creative. I'll never come up with, it's when you start connecting with other people of like minds who are positive, who are thinking, understanding they're under stress. We're all under that, but, that they're looking for solutions. They're marketing more than ever. I think it's really interesting in my, because I've had the privilege of talking to a lot of people on these radio broadcasts, the industries that really are thriving right now. Let me give you an example. Swimming pools, not installing swimming pools, maintaining swimming pools. I live in Indiana. In April in Indiana, the swimming pool companies that open swimming pools were going absolutely nuts. That is not normal in the state of Indiana in April. It's too cold. That means they have to pay a lot more to do that because it's too cold. And they were going crazy. RVs, state of Indiana, particularly in the northern part of Indiana, big RV manufacturing companies. It's hard to even find an RV to buy these days because the people thought, well, we can't fly to go on vacation. We can't do anything, but we want to do a vacation. So they're all snapping up the RVs. So there really is lots of opportunities. So Donna, so you learn that. What other kind of lessons or even businesses that you've heard? Tell me about your business. What are you guys doing to help people reduce stress or get out there and market even more?
Well, let's kind of stay along that line of the question you asked me about, what businesses thrive during the Depression, because that really speaks to lesson number 2 that I referred to when we first started talking, that there's always a solution. So we stood back and looked around. Now, let's hope folks understand that we have a lot of different programs and products that we offer to an end user, so to an individual. But our main business is showing people in any wellness-related business how to offer those products and programs and also how to make their own business thrive. Well, while we have health coaches and particularly just specifically wellness businesses, our main client, Nina, is a health club. Health clubs that were all shut down, completely shut down. So we had to step back. And one of the things that I did really early on is I started researching like a little crazy person and figured out a way to help them be an essential business. And we were already set up for it because the way that our systems work within the health-related business model is, and it just sounds amazing. I always am astounded every time I say these words out loud, and I've said them thousands and thousands of times. One of our key programs, the entry program, if you will, reduces stress in the body. It balances out hormones. In the process of that, somebody will typically lose 20 pounds in 30 days without hunger, without losing muscle mass, without lowering a metabolic rate. And that's awesome. But that's not what's amazing. What's amazing is blood pressure within 2 weeks will be normalized. Diabetes will be reversed, like insulin numbers, glucose numbers, A1C normalized. We have doctors telling people you're not diabetic anymore. You don't need to be on your meds anymore. Cholesterol issues gone. Acid reflux gone. Eyesight improved. Night sweats gone. Hot flashes gone. Migraines gone. Inflammation in the body gone. Insomnia gone. You're sleeping like a baby through the night. This stuff, I pinch myself. And it's all because we put the body back into a place of homeostasis. So because of this, because of our products, our programs, and our coaching, our health coaching, we're essential. Somebody is not going to say, yeah, I'll just go back on my high blood pressure risk. I'll just go back on my diabetes risk again, because they've seen these things occur. So we stood back, looked at this is what could make us essential because of that coaching and those programs and those products, and we kept going. Now, some places, depending on the state, kept the person coming in if they wanted to, but everybody went to virtual. We showed them how to go virtual with their check-ins. The neat thing about what we teach is that it is one-on-many, so it doesn't take a ton of time. It's not one-on-one. And many of our locations, Nina, increased their income during this time because we went extreme. We're good at providing marketing anyway, but we went extreme. And just constantly, we're providing, as I mentioned earlier, you need to educate, you need to entertain, you need to inform, you need to make an offer. And we provide that for our licensee. So we were giving them the material to use. They were using it. We were using Marketing 101, which is talk to the person that's buying from you first, talk to the person who used to buy from you second, talk to the person who thought about buying you from but didn't third, and talk to the people that are on the outskirts. In the world of social media now, you've got eyeballs, I call them, so talk to the eyeballs, and then talk to everybody else. So it used to be 4 elements, now it's 5 elements, and that's what we teach with our systems. So we have a lot of locations who made more money than they got, and they were making great money. We have one licensee, I just met with her actually, who saw a net profit of $80,000 last year, which isn't bad. I mean, she works, 20 hours a week. Again, the model is a super simple model. She's made $100,000 in the first 5 months of this year. Profit, net, in her pocket. And it's just because of being in the right business. So we looked at clubs and said, how can we serve them? They're all closed and panicking, and their members are canceling. So we came up with a system of stepping in and saying, we'll do the work for you. We'll literally do the work for you. We'll reach out to your members. We'll tell them everything is okay. We'll give them some gifts. We'll thank them for hanging with us, and we'll offer them this wellness solution so that they can avail themselves. We don't know where life is going, but we know that stress is messing with us and our lives and our health. We know that we're all eating comfort food and drinking comfort drink. There is a sense of anxiety, depression, worry. So we can counteract all that by getting the body back into health. So we said to the health club and anyone else we were working with, obviously, we just work with a lot of health clubs, we'll do it for you. And we'll make the phone calls, we'll make the offer, we'll put together the seminar. And when the person decides that they want to avail themselves of what we offer, we're going to give you a chunk of the money. And when this is all over, if you decide you want to become our licensee, we will give you all the residual, all of it. We'll just give it to you. And we don't charge for this, Nina. Like, we don't charge. We're just doing it. And we've had quite a few take advantage. And should there be someone listening to us, the way that you find out more about that opportunity and that program, that product, that business system is at Fit Biz Stimulus. You don't have to be a fitness business. That's just the approach that we took because a lot of our clients are fitness businesses at FitBiz, stimulus.com. And what that will do is take you through how this works. Now, I'm going to go be so bold as to say to you, if you're not in a wellness-related business, you need to figure out how to be. And you need to figure out a way to keep your customer buying from you should things go back into lockdown again. Now, some might say, well, Donna, that's a fatalist approach. My response to that is twofold. Number one, I believe that's what we need to be planning for. And if it doesn't happen, praise God. Wonderful, right? I think that we don't need to be shocked next time. We don't need to be having to go 100 miles an hour. We need to have a plan. I like having a plan. And the other thing I'll say, Nina, without going into a whole bunch of detail, is I have a friend who is very, 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 very highly achieved epidemiologist. Yes, I said epidemiologist. And he is a key epidemiologist for a chain of major hospitals. And he's one of our best friends. So we have conversations with him which give us some insight. So I think it's good to have the plan. You need to be in some sort of wellness-related income. You need to have systems that are already designed for you for marketing. You need to have a plan in place that will keep your customer buying and still attract new customers to buy, not just look. You need to have a lot of different offerings so you can meet people where they are. I mean, with our offerings, we've got these health improvements that are, again, astounding. We've got the weight loss thing. So for the quarantine 15 or just somebody decides this is a good opportunity to get to a healthy weight, we have that. We've got the mindset piece with our plan. So, how to think correctly or recognize the fact that you're thinking in a way that could hurt you. We have that with our Lifestyle Success Program. So the FitBiz Stimulus offered the opportunity to anyone in a wellness-related business to get involved with what we were doing, and it was a way we pivoted. So many of my licensees saw an increased income, but, we saw a direction that, quite honestly, I really was thinking we needed to go anyway. This thing was a blessing in disguise in so many ways because it really took us in a direction that I really was thinking we needed to go anyway. And that was, let's really get even more products in place. Let's even get more programs in place that really truly meet every individual where they are. So now not only is our marketing, we've got great before and afters and testimonials about weight loss, but we really ramped up something we were doing, but we were doing minimally. And that was really amazing stories about, like I said, every different health issue you can think of has been reversed. And then the products, just marketing the products. Let's talk about stress. Let's talk about that first lesson we talked about, that there's always been stress for a business leader, an entrepreneur. Coming into this, there was stress. During it, there's certainly been stress. And when it's all over, there'll be stress. I think that people need to be aware that right now, let's just talk about during this time, because this is extreme. Right now, the only consistency is inconsistency. That's it. Because the messages we get constantly are different. So whether you acknowledge that or not, that is what is in the atmosphere. So every time you see someone with a mask or without a mask, depending upon what side of the fence your opinion is, there's a reminder that things are different. Whenever you go into a restaurant, people are very far apart. There's a reminder that things are different. If people are too close together and that makes you uncomfortable, it's a reminder that things are different. We have all these things around us that are reminders. And again, whether we're conscious of it and see it and acknowledge it or not is irrelevant because subconsciously it's there. So again, I mentioned that if we're aware of what we're feeling, which is so important, you then need to have, to your point, people that I call safe zones that you can talk with, that you can be real with. Say, look, somebody said to me yesterday, Donna, this has stolen my joy. And we were able to talk through it. And again, people have been fearful. I've gone through fear. And fear doesn't usually get me, but I've gone through it. People are confused. People are angry. Anxiety is higher than ever before. Depression's higher than ever before. Suicide, spousal abuse, drug addiction, alcohol abuse, child abuse. These things are climbing. This is an indication that stress is high, anxiety is high, depression is high. So people need to be aware of the fact that whether you're acknowledging it or not, it's happening. You need to have a safe zone where you can talk about it, but that safe zone can't be a commiserating zone. The safe zone has to be somebody that the two of you together can say, yep, this is what we're feeling, but we know there's a solution. How do we deal with it? It's important, Nina, because I know if I say safe zones, people will go, oh, I have people I can talk to. Yeah, but what are those people saying to you? And I'm not talking about rah-rah, Pollyanna, Mary Poppins. I'm not talking about, oh, it's fine. Everything's going to be fine. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about you need somebody you can be real with to share your candid feelings, but you need somebody that provides a solution. Now, one solution that we provide that I am such an over-the-top personal use fan of, it is indescribable, is our Relora product. So that's another thing we did during this time. We grabbed the website icanstressless.com, and we said to people, the Relora product is there, it's free, go get it. It's free. It's free. Because it's a magnolia herb. No addictive qualities, no side effects. It is within 2 days, you have a feeling of well-being. It is a magnolia herb, as I mentioned. It's called nature's Prozac. Our members refer to it as the happy pill. I mean, this thing is incredible. And taking this Relora product a couple of times a day, many people have gotten off their antidepressants, off their anxiety drugs. We certainly never tell people to do that. Their doctor does, or they've had to do it on their own, but we don't. But the the incredible sense of calm and looking at things with a rational mind and having a clear head and not a foggy brain comes with the use of this product. So what did we do during this time? I mean, everyone that ever uses this product is such a fan. I can't put it into words. And again, I swear by this stuff, right? So we said, let's give it. The same way we looked at Fit Biz Stimulus and said, let's help the wellness-related business. Let's give it to them. We looked at any person and user and said, let's give them Relora. So what happens is you go to iCanStressLess.com. It will say this is how you get your free Relora, and it will ask you for your information so that you can go watch the online seminar that tells you how to get all these wellness and weight loss benefits that I'm talking about with our 2030 Fast Track plan. Once you watch that seminar, you decide that the program and the plan is right for you. Not only do you get Relora in the kit, we'll give you an extra Relora. If you decide it's not for you, we just send you the Relora. But it's twofold, right? We want to get the free Relora into your hands, but we also want you to understand how to get yourself into this high health state so the stress is not beating up your body. Because stress it's a killer. Cortisol kills, and stress produces extra cortisol. So again, in the pivot, we said, all right, the most important thing we can do is help people understand how to not allow stress to have an effect on their body, how to get into a high health state, how to feel amazing so they can deal with what's going on around them. Well, we need to tell people about this simple way to eat and how they can get all these results in, you see the results in 2 days, you feel the results in less than 2 weeks. Well, how do we do that? Okay, it would be good if we put that information out there, and we will, but here's the thing. If we give Relora, which gives an instant result, instant, you notice within 2 days that you feel calmer. If I can give that, that's what I should do first. And then if the person decides they're going to go all the way and really feel amazing, and again, get into a place, like I said, even clear back in the depression, people wanted to feel good. We need to decide today that we need to feel good. Again, we can't let ourselves succumb to the overeating, over-drinking, vegetative state that we all go through, that I've gone through, okay? We just have to realize, that needs to be temporary. I don't want to live there. I want this to be a time where I do thrive. Again, Nina, the people we're talking to are business people. They're entrepreneurs. So I'll say directly to you, as you're listening to my voice, you need to thrive. And you can thrive. You can thrive during this. You can thrive. But you've got to have your own head right, your own health right, your outlook right, the people around you right, the systems that you're using right, and your innovation then won't be only on your shoulders. So iCanStressLess.com is something that we put up. We got a lot of people avail themselves, and the more people I've got using Relora, the happier I am, because I know when somebody's using Relora, they're calmer, and it's not getting to them, and it's not going to overtake them. One of the things that has wrecked me, and I don't know if I can say it without getting emotional, is that there are so many people out there, Nina, who struggled with anxiety and depression before this. And I had no idea, by the way, that this happened, that a lot of those people, the way they coped with it is they would get out with other people. Whether they went to a bar, whether they went to church, whether they went to neighborhood gatherings, whether they went to concerts with friends, whatever, they used that human energy that's how they coped with their illness, and they thrived. And during this time, that was taken away from them. And many of them took their own lives. I had no idea that one of the very, very intelligent ways that people coped with anxiety and depression was with that human energy experience. That was their pill, if you will. And when that was taken from them and they were forbidden to be with other people, they didn't handle it well. That made me go into overdrive, was saying, I've got to get Relora out there. I've got to get Relora into the hands of people so they can calm down, so they can think clearly, so they can know there's a solution. And then yes, I will state very boldly, I think people need to do 2030 Fast Track. And 2030 could mean 20 pounds in 30 days because that's typical. 2030 could mean 20 foods in 30 days because it's structured. 2030 could mean 20 health benefits in 30 days because that's normal. So if we can get people into that hormone wellness weight loss seminar that is virtual, right? can watch it from your own home, and you can not just lose the weight. Again, that's wonderful, but you're reducing stress in the body, and you're getting all these amazing health benefits. So guess what? You don't need prescription drugs. You don't need to go to the doctor as often. And by the way, your immunity increases. So the viruses that are floating around, you're a whole lot less likely to catch. I'm passionate. Sorry. I'm taking over the conversation.
That's okay. I am looking at the clock, and so we are winding down. But I want to talk about those two websites you gave. I want to read. So it's FIT, F-I-T, biz, B-I-Z, stimulus.com. So that's for somebody, and it could be a dentist, it could be a chiropractor, it could be somebody who did have a gym, somebody who was somehow, but it could be any business that wants to add that to them. Am I correct on that?
Absolutely. Anybody that, I'll boldly state this very directly, anybody that is realizing it is a smart and intelligent move to move into a wellness space right now. If you're in it, go to FitBiz Stimulus and we'll help you thrive with it. If you're not in it, decide to get in it and become a health and wellness coach and get a hold of us and we'll help you thrive in it.
Okay, FitBiz, B-I-Z, stimulus.com. And the second one is to get a free bottle of Relora, is icanstressless.com. So, Donna, if somebody wanted to get a hold of you, if they wanted to be able to talk a little bit more about that, what's the best way to get a hold of you?
I think the smartest way to reach out to me, Nina, that's going to be the most efficient and effective is info@donnakrech.com. So it's info@DONNAKRECH.com. I am happy to answer questions. I'm happy to talk through something with somebody. I'm happy to even help somebody lay out a plan. I spoke for a group a couple weeks ago, of course, virtually, on putting yourself on a platform, meaning being someone, being somewhere, doing something. And everybody needs to know they have their own story. I can help people figure out what that is so you can be innovative, and make more money during this time, impact more lives, how to know where to be, right, to have the greatest impact for the greatest likelihood of income, and what to do. And that's, like I said before, that third lesson was that platform, the business platform and the life platform. The most important thing we probably need to say as we sum this up is we know as business leaders we need to make a great impact, and we want to. We wouldn't be business leaders. And we know we want to see the fruits of our labor and have some income for that, and we should, because you put that work forth and you get that return. That we should have all of that. That is important. That prosperity is important, but life prosperity is important too, and we need to not forsake that or forget it. So I've got I call it the Fully Alive list, where people can go and check off, maybe start some dream building for themselves of experiences they want to have or experiences they've had and they want to have again. Because I think if you look at life from an experience perspective and really take those experiences in, it keeps you going, A, with balance, right? But B, with why I want to keep going with my purpose and my business and making an impact and making an income so that I can have these experiences, so I can live life fully. I think that life platform matters more than anything, because what we've learned through all this, Nina, is that tomorrow is not guaranteed to be the same as yesterday. And I think if you've got the ability and the awareness, again, to know what your life experiences are around you and to set goals for further ones, then it really does give you the balance that you need when life goes a little differently than you thought it was going to. And it also gives you a reason to keep doing what you do. People need what we all do, no matter what we do. People need what an entrepreneur and a business person does. They need it. And as long as our life has balance, we can keep doing that. If we're all work and only work, before you realize it, you're really kind of consumed and not the healthiest of people. When you think about life experiences and, again, your life platform, it keeps things in balance and it keeps you wanting to move forward with your business. Okay, so if you'd like Donna's free offer for Relora, go to icanstressless.com. If you want to know more about adding some sort of her health program
to your business, fitbizstimulus.com. And if you would like to reach out for Donna personally, info@donnakrech.com. So today, Donna, thank you so much for being on here. I'm sure that you are going to be helping a lot of people from this. So this is your reminder. Go out and make it a good day.
Thank you for listening to Megabucks Radio with Nina Hirschberger. To learn more about the resources mentioned on today's show or to listen to past episodes, visit megabucksradio.com.